like you're kind of angry leaving the court. What had your ire?
I feel like the way the game is being officiated is unacceptable. I don't want to go too deep into it so they make a big deal out of it, but the explanations, the shit that's getting missed, I mean, come on, man, I'm not even a player that I felt like coming in, the rule change wouldn't affect me because I don't do the trick to referees, I don't do the trick plays, and it just is unacceptable, man. Then the explanations and the remarks in return when you tell them is just like, I don't really have nothing else to say about it.
How are you feeling physically? You look like you're wincing a little bit.
Yeah, I got on one of my drives, I started to attack, and usually when I'm attacking, if I get a step on the defender, the first thing they do is they reach out and hit you in the chest. But when I was going, it was like a forearm, like to like where my ribs, and it, you know, just tightened up my abdominal a little bit. So just like locked up on me. That was it.
It subsided enough to where you were okay?
Yeah, after a while, after like 2 possessions, it eased up.
I mean, how would you sum up how you guys are closing out games and finishing out quarters? It seems like you guys make some progress and then you can't get the plays or the stops, it seems like, particularly on the road to finish things out.
It's not good enough. I think we have good stretches, and it's not easy to sustain that. You know, you have a stretch of good defense, good offensive possessions, and the other team calls a timeout. And usually coming out of a timeout, when the other team tried to, you know, stop your momentum or what you was doing well, you know, the coaches usually get on them and they try to clean up what they were doing, you know, to come out and combat whatever it was that we did well. So we always telling ourselves, you know, don't let them have nothing come out of this timeout. You know, don't give them no life. Don't let them, you know, change the momentum of the game. And, you know, we just always come out and kind of let them do it. You know, we don't keep our foot on the gas, and we just haven't been great closing quarters. And when you're on somebody else's home floor, you got to be solid. You know, closing out quarters. When you got a team down in a quarter, if you're playing well, you got to finish that quarter well. You know, so they think about it and they got to come out in the next quarter and try to fix it. And then you're starting from scratch. You know, trying to dominate another quarter, and we just haven't finished quarters well enough.
Are you starting to feel like you're getting in more of a rhythm offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling better each game. I still feel, you know, like I'm not completely rolling, but I'm feeling better every game.
I mean, is there anything you can point to, particularly when it comes to 3-point defense? Because right now, I mean, they had they had multiple wide open, but particularly from the corner, 53% from 3.
It's got 53% for 3 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, and Chauncey talked about communication. Norm talked about it as well. Do you feel like it's a communication issue, like, or can you put that anywhere?
I think sometimes it's communication, and you know, I think that goes to transition. You know, a lot of times when teams are coming at us in transition, obviously you want to protect the rim, but you want to be communicating because you're not going to be matched up with your guy all the time. So you got to be talking and pointing and kind of governing ourselves. You know, it's not like the coaches can say, all right, do this coverage, do this or do that. We got to be pointing. You take him. I got ball. You know, knowing who we're closing out to, knowing who's trailing. Because usually in transition, when you're in the scramble mode, guys are coming down the court. You know, it's easy to lose sight of somebody because the game is going, you know, at a fast pace. And teams end up getting a 3. You know, it's one closeout, penetrate, somebody help, and it's a 3. So I think transition, we got to be better communicating and just being aware, you know, where guys are. And in the half court, I think it's just, you know, sometimes when we have breakdowns on the ball and one person has to help the next and then the next guy has to help. And usually when the team gets into, you know, the teeth of the defense, it's always like the third guy who's supposed to respond. So where it's like you don't always have to, and then it's like that one pass. And it's like if one person doesn't do what they're supposed to do in this scheme, it can look like that sometimes. You know, for example, if the ball goes to the rim, we're supposed to have a low man there. And when the low man comes over, we're supposed to have another guy sink to protect the low man, and he takes the first pass out. So if we don't take care of the ball and the guy goes straight downhill, the low man is rushing over, and the sinker usually doesn't see it as fast as the low man. So if it's a bang play and the sinker doesn't see it, you know, he's turned, look at the ball, and now the ball is zipped to the corner, and it's a breakdown. So I think that's what it is in the half court. And transition is, you know, more so communication and just our awareness.
A lot of that of what you were just talking about is stopping the ball at the point. How do you feel like you guys have done, you in particular?
I mean, coming into this season, you know, I've watched clips over and over and over. I've watched games. I feel like I'm having my best year defensively. And I'm really focusing on that, controlling the ball, communicating, being active, taking a challenge. And I think as a group, we're not doing a bad job at that. I think is when you do take the ball, your work is just starting. You know, it's like you take the ball. Now they swing it, you still got to be in a position to help, and then the next guy has to be in a position to, you know, get in the gap, show bodies. It's like those are the things that we got to be better about. I don't think we're doing a bad job of taking that challenge, you know, or finding the ball and guarding the ball. And NBA guys are going to get in the paint. You know, it's the best players in the world. And I think we are doing a solid job at it. It's just getting to the next thing. You know, sometimes our defense is breaking down because we're not on a string. You know, we aren't.
It takes waves of defense.
Yeah, like it takes everybody, you know, for it to work. Everybody has to be sharp, and everybody has to see what's going on. And when we don't, you know, you end up with an open three, or, you know, Nurk ends up seeing the ball going to the rim, so now he has to go try to protect the rim, and his man is diving behind him. And the sinker person, or the person that's supposed to be, you know, hitting Nurk's man, is behind the play, and now he's dunking the ball. So the next time somebody might get beat on the ball, and now Nurk is like, I'm gonna stay close to my man, and now it's a layup, you know. So it's a big deal that we are able to trust the next person to do their job, because if guys can't trust the next person to do their job, then they won't do their job to begin with, and then it's so I think we just haven't been consistent enough at that. You know, we have stretches where we do it really well. When we don't, it's a wide open shot.
Do you see progress though? Like,
Definitely.
games never stop. So
Definitely. I mean, you guys watch the game, so you're going to watch it and be like, dang, you know, y'all gave up a bunch of threes and y'all did this. But coming into this year, I think we said we want to be better defensively, and we have been. You know, I think by a long shot, we've been better. We've been more active on the ball. We've had better defensive performances this season. I don't even think that's debatable.
Yeah.
We've been much better defensively. But now it's like, well, why aren't you guys even better? And it's like, it's a process.
Yeah.
You know, we are still, you know, getting better at our scheme, trying to figure out, you know, trying to make it more of an instinct thing, and being on the string and trusting that, you know, everybody's going to do their job. But I like where we are. We just got to keep getting better. It's going to look great sometimes. Like, we've had games at home where it looked great. And now we just got to look at what the truth is, and that's that we aren't very good at it on the road. So we just got to be better.
Okay, wrap it up though.
Thanks, Dan.